Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend. So, I have some good news and some bad news about Red. The bad news is, they've banned us from the market. The roving clans are the ones who run the marketplace, so they can ban other players, and that is what has happened to us. We can no longer buy or sell heroes or units, which is a little bit of a shame. We can fix this with some negotiation. We could basically buy our way back into the market, throw this in there and then find something that they're willing to trade for market rights. It looks like they're really going to gouge us on that. Well, that's a shame. I guess we don't have access to the market. The good news is, as several people have reminded me, the roving clans cannot declare war. We don't actually have to worry about Red declaring war on us. They literally cannot do that. So, good news for us. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't play the game for 18 months. You forget how all of the factions work. So that takes a little bit of pressure off of us. We don't have to worry about having a weird, really long, undefended border with Red, because Red can't actually do anything about it. Am I misremembering, or was this... Hold on a second. Are these guys at war? I can't tell their relationship with those guys, because I haven't met those guys. Well, we should probably go and meet them. It looks like Valters, or Mizari. I don't remember if there are different skins for the buildings for Mizari. Army's not really doing anything. Maybe we should meet our neighbors so that we can get a better idea of the geopolitical situation here. But also, maybe we shouldn't meet our neighbors, because they can't declare war on us if we haven't met them. That's a trick, I guess, is we just keep them totally ignorant of our presence, and they won't murder us. So, mostly what we're doing here, our primary goal is to get this going, which means getting to the next tech era. We could try to trade some Palladian off of somebody else. Okay, we can't just resource trade. We have to have closer diplomatic relations. Well, we might be able to make that happen. We could do some research on that. But for right now, I guess let's just focus on getting our own stuff developed. So we have kind of a loose plan here. We know we want to take some more territory. We do have to be worried about Green declaring on us. They totally can. I double-checked. But it seems like they're maybe busy, which is good for us. We also need to clean this up. Yeah, we should pick off this minor faction guy. We should also probably finish exploring our territory, because as it is, if we get into the next era, we want to actually be sure that we know where all the resource deposits in our area are, all the resource deposits in our regions, and in order to do that, we have to have actual vision of those tiles, or at least we have to have revealed the Fog of War off of those tiles. Alright, after you make your Stone Sentinel, what else are you doing? It's probably time for expansion. Or a real serious focus on growth, I guess? Capital is at 6 populations. We have 6 and 43 food, 6 and 58 food, and here 6, a lot of food. Oh, right. I was like, why are we not growing? Because there's a settler in the queue. Yeah, okay, I guess this is the place to do it. We'll move everybody over to food output, and we'll see if we can't turn the capital into a science powerhouse. Help us get through things a little bit faster. So I guess we're probably we're going to build the Center for Mineralogy here eventually, but obviously it doesn't help to do that until we're ready to pull people off of food, which they will be working because of the Husbandry Center. And I think I do want to do it here rather than up here, because here we have much more potential for expansion. Up here, the city is always going to be shaped kind of funny because of the water in the region. So we're going to finish alchemical armor soon, which is not a thing that we are going to be putting into a build queue in any way, so I guess we should just start building burrows after this. Alright, we have a lot of dust. I think we're going to save our dust for buying out buildings in the new city that we're going to create, so for the moment, we're taking it pretty easy. We'll just come down here. Apparently there is a Kazanji village that is still neutral. That is why we are getting random Kazanji. Well, that is a problem that can be resolved. We do have some boosters available. Hold on. We'll look into this in a second. This tribe has informed you that their kidnapped brothers are somewhere in a nearby region called Tieren. Locate the right boss village and destroy it. That's a shame. You really have to give us Adamantian instead of Palladian? Okay, so there's a spice deposit down here. That was definitely worth coming down and finding. I mean, that'll be easy enough to do. We just roll over here and blow this up. It's a shame that we got that, because the fact that we now have a quest to destroy this village is going to prevent us from talking to them and seeing if maybe they would be willing to cough up the Palladian. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. We'll get it all figured out. Let's have these stone sentinels run out and join the army as quickly as they can. What are you doing after your sentinels are done? We don't really have a lot of super compelling stuff to do. We could produce another settler and try to grab this territory quickly as well. Limiting green's growth is both a negative for green, which is a positive for us, and also just a positive for us. Obviously, pretty strong. Provided that it doesn't open us up to danger. We just need more vision over here. The thing is, if I create a settler and we don't get value out of it, or we don't get this region, we're just going to get no value at all out of it, because there's nowhere else really for me to put down a city. So I think for the moment, let's focus on starting to grow here. Our growth prospects aren't super strong. And we basically just need to make a narrow, like, stick-shaped city, right? Yeah, I guess that's where it goes. We're going to have some approval problems as we grow until we get to the place where, until we get to the part where we have the districts actually leveling up. This is not a terrible time for winter. Could be a lot worse. So somebody else has defeated the armies of 10 other armies of other empires, jeez, and gotten themselves the Eye of the Farthinker. Definitely something we have to watch out for. We actually should probably check which player that was. It was... where is that deed? Oh, it's this one right here. It is light green. Okay. So whoever light green is, they're going to be a little bit formidable. They seem to be conducting an awful lot of war. Well, let's not queue up too much movement here. Let's make sure we're grabbing pearls, because we do need to build our altar eventually. Have you pop out and come down to meet us. Alright, so we'll actually take out the, that minor faction army that's wandering down here eventually. I want to get this quest done as quickly as possible. We can hope for, at the very least, the ability to trade all of those resources that we're getting from this. Since we can't sell them on the marketplace anyway, I think we probably ought to just get basic resource buildings going in this city. It's got enough industry now that it shouldn't be a problem to get those done without spending dust on them. Also, man, winter is harsh right now. This is brutal. Maybe we are not going to be buying anything out. Also, I noticed that we're losing dust to a dust accumulator facility. When the next turn starts, we'll take a look around for that. Ah, I think this will be it here. Yep. So, there are a couple of different kinds of facilities out on the ocean that can have a negative effect on you. They just have a negative effect on all players except for the owner. This thing is siphoning a very, very small amount of dust away from us every turn and feeding that basically directly to the other player who controls it, which it looks like is green. Not a real concern. Honestly, we're fine. They would remove our market ban if we gave them the tech for public granaries. That's interesting. Will you take advantage of our almost irresponsible generosity? You know what, at the moment, I'm not that worried about this. Hold on, can we throw resource terms on this deal? Oh, they have Palladian. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can work this out. Because if they just gave us 20 Palladian... Oh, no, okay, the market ban removal has to be part of the term, otherwise the whole exchange isn't open. Okay, so I need 20 Palladian. In exchange, I am willing to, like, seriously cough up. So Public Granary makes a big dent. They don't really care about Language Squared. They would love Alchemy Workshop. So we're feeding them strength that they can use to move towards some of the victory conditions. But if we can use this opportunity to get toward... Alright, it looks like we can't quite make the deal. We'll hold off for now. It looks like if we can get toward our quest victory, it doesn't matter how much we feed them other stuff, right? And do I want to just run over there and grab them? I guess we probably should. Can't quite get them this turn, but we can get them at the start of next turn. Alright, do we see any other pearls? There are actually pearls right there that I just didn't grab as I was moving past, but it's only 2. And we got past 10. So now that we're past 10, we can build our own altar, which will be helpful. To have a little bit of say in how the winters are going to unfold. Oh, nope, stop. Ah, man. Move one space at a time, maybe. Although, they're not attacking us, which I do appreciate. I don't know, we'll see how that unfolds next turn. We may have to back off. Having to retreat once is not a big deal, though. Alright, let's keep building out the burrows. Builds are pretty weak right now, but we're rapidly progressing toward enough food to actually, I think we probably want to shift everybody over here. Enough food to actually have a pretty large and impressive city. Okay, so if we want things to be able to level up, we have to be a little bit careful how we place them. There's an anomaly over here. Hold on, let me turn on the resource display. I guess, actually, the better way to do this is probably... There we go. Okay, so there's an anomaly over here. We're not really building toward anything else in particular. Just kind of get territory. Well, a build right here is not bad. That'll let this be leveled up by building in these 2 spots, and one of those will grab the anomaly. So yeah, let's go ahead and put down the altar here, and then we're going to put down the burrow streets there. Okay, we're getting some power in our cities now. After Modena finishes that public library, for real, we need a whole lot of science. Just keep building science. The public granary is maybe a higher priority than some of this stuff, actually. Hold on. Yeah, I guess the earlier we can get this going, the better. It honestly probably should have been even before the public library, probably before the Empire Mint as well. Growth is important. Here at Gadanak, we're just waiting for... Once the burrow streets are done, we can queue up another burrow. Alright. So the first thing we're going to do on this turn is probably not move our settler back. We'll get attacked and take the retreat. I'm fine with that. We may as well finish off the retrofit here. Nah, we might want to use that dust for buying stuff. It's okay for this army to be slightly slower, I guess. Given our rate of dust loss and everything, dust is fairly precious at the moment. So the first thing we're going to do is take care of these guys. Hopefully this will be the last neutral army we see out of that Kazanji village before we pacify them, so... And once we have all the extra Adamantian, we'll go talk to the roving clans and see if they want to do a big Adamantian for Palladian trade and market ban removal. Alright, we probably don't need to manual this. It's a very straightforward battle against a small number of very weak enemies. Here we are just retreating. So we don't actually have the movement necessary to get to the settling location this turn. So what I'm going to do is just back off over the line here, where they won't attack us again next turn, probably, because minor faction units usually don't leave their region. And then we'll start next turn with a charge. Somebody else just got to 2,000 total influence earned from the beginning of the game, and so even more trade route bonuses for the roving clans who are already very good at trading. They're going to be doing very well in the direction of the Dust Victory. Okay, and everybody just keep building. I think things are going fine. We're having what feel like pretty small turns here. We're not doing a lot of consequence on a turn-to-turn basis, but I'm happy with the way our empire is developing. What we're gaining now is not really stuff, if you understand my meaning, but rather the capability to get stuff. Okay, definitely don't bring the settler in as reinforcements. And again, we can just auto. These are small, very simple battles. Okay, now the settler comes back in. So, before we think about popping another settlement down... Oh, hey, we actually are just a tiny bit under an approval threshold. Let's pop these dies. We could pop the grass silk now, and if we don't do it now, we won't be able to do it after the city is settled, because the booster cost will go up to 25, but also this doesn't actually do very much for us, and I'm wondering if, as a second-tier luxury resource, we're better off holding this for trade with the roving clans. Because we don't actually have any trade routes yet. I think that's what we're going to do with it. We're going to hold it. Okay, dust production has returned to normal, which helps us a lot. It was the combination of dearth of dust and the winter together was breaking us rapidly. Alright, here in Gadanak, I'm going to go ahead and put down another one of these, and where industry is becoming a little bit less important as we're reaching our cap on borough streets, so we want to make sure that we're getting enough berths that we'll be able to build out those next borough streets. Start getting the approval bonus. Okay, and these guys need to come over here and blow up this Bos village so that we can get the reward from this so that we can go trading. Then we're going to get a free hero. I'm trying to remember what all the steps are. We're going to get a free hero. We have to set that free hero as a governor for 6 turns. Well, you know, I said I was going to save these for trade, but actually, when we settle the city, we're going to lose a bunch of approval, so maybe the smart thing to do is just to activate this now. Well, to activate it at the beginning of next turn. What's this guy's movement? Alright, so just make sure that we move to the location of the city. Don't put it down yet, but move to that location. And then we'll figure stuff out. But we want to pop it next turn, the turn that we're going to put the city down so that we get the maximum actual benefit time out of it. We definitely want to make sure that we move before that Rumbler has a chance to walk over here and initiate combat on the settler. Obviously, if the Rumbler wants to initiate combat on the army, that doesn't bother me at all. Somebody has constructed the Alchemic Institute. It was light blue, and dark blue made the museum, so... The good news is, all of these incredibly powerful deeds are getting spread out over the other players nicely. We're not seeing one player become an incredible powerhouse. Let's go ahead and pop this. Do you have any movement left? You have 1. Okay, so not enough movement to run out and, like, place another volcano former or anything. And we'll worry about it later. Let's do this. We're at 72 now. I don't think it makes sense to pop the emeralds. I'm pretty sure that we will take about a 10-point total hit here. 1 food right now, but 32 industry. We'll just build ourselves a seed storage real quickly. That'll solve the problem. In fact, let's buy that out. Remember that building construction costs are lowered, and the buyout cost, because of our empire plan, right? And the buyout cost of a building is based on its industry cost. So reducing the industry cost reduces the buyout cost, which also means that if you get the industry cost reduction and the buyout cost reduction, because both of those things exist in the empire plan, your buyouts are crazy super cheap for quite a while. I think it's fine to, yeah, just do a double buy. Oh, that's right. Actually, the seed storage is not super powerful during the summer. It is still giving us the 15% bonus food, but we probably actually need to keep this guy on food throughout the end of the winter, at least. Yeah, honestly, like public granary next, maybe? Or sewer system. Empire-wide approval, yep, is just north of Happy. But approval in this particular city is not great. So let's go sewer system first, then we'll get the granary settled. Alright, that city's going to come online really quickly. And now that we have that garrison there, make it even easier to wipe these dudes out. Gets us our 20 adamantium, and then we just have one unit go back to the village and talk to them, and we get 20 more adamantium. That's actually incredibly good. You know, this probably isn't a 6 units kind of job. I'm going to have one guy break off and explore this region. And how's our research queue going? Okay, so if we can't get a deal from the roving clans, we're still not that far off of being able to see our own Palladian resources. Palladian deposits, rather. And unfortunately, more Kazanji were produced. Okay, fine time for the winter to end. I'm pretty happy about that, actually. So we can now actually see the coming winter effects. Minus fortification on cities. And also extra fortification damage per turn on units. If that actually does end up being the winter effect, we're going to have to be a little cautious. Okay, let's break off one unit. Slow guy, who's keeping the rest of the army down. Have him initiate combat here so that we don't have to spend the actual army's movement points on initiating combat. The reason that this looks the way it does, apparently, is that the game is only considering the strengths of the main armies in this this battle prediction. Let's go ahead and manual this, just so that this guy doesn't run forward and get himself murdered before reinforcements show up. So, you have 2 move each. Yeah, honestly, we can just have this guy sit in the city tile. Well, he should sit a little further back. We're going to see the one very damaged Rumbler come in the reinforcement slots. We can have our Stone Sentinel fight him, I guess. So you get him. Oh, he actually can't quite make it. Never mind. Just walk to here. Get ready. You can make it to that guy, but you won't get any backup. So why don't we just position for a charge next turn? Definitely don't want to walk into range of them just yet. It has to be us attacking, not them attacking. Okay. All of that went exactly the way I wanted it to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Sure enough. Okay, so you can only reach this guy. Your job is to prevent that guy from getting his own turn, and everybody else, just get in here and let this dude have it. And it's important when you're issuing specific move orders like that to try to issue them in such a way that if the initial target dies, your units are standing on spaces that allow them to attack other targets. Because, like, if I had told this guy to move, this wasn't possible, but if I had told him to move to here and attack there, even with this target dead, he would have moved to this space and then gone, oh man, I can't attack this turn, oh well. So it's important to consider, like, if a target dies faster than you think they will, what else is going to happen? Alright, here's hoping this guy doesn't hit for 0 again. Okay, so the rest of us can head this way and make it most of the way. What do you guys want? Give us 10 gold and 10 grass silk. Well, bad news. We just ate all of our grass silk. That's how you use grass silk, right? You just consume it. So we're going to wait, and after we finish this quest, we'll go and make the deal, because at that point we'll have 50 adamantium, and I'm sure they'll be willing to trade for that. Now we have access to central markets, just in time, really. I think I would like to put down a central market in every city after these cities finish their current... You know what, maybe even before the alchemy workshop. And for you, maybe just right this second? I think that's important enough to move people back to industry for. Because remember, as we build boroughs, we're losing approval. So it's important to, in the cities where more boroughs are getting built, it's more important to pay attention to your approval levels. Okay, a really good haul from that quest, and also a point of population that we didn't have to spend any industry rebuilding. I think I'm going to wait on this until the hero can get over here. I'm just looking around. Yeah, because we could get hero XP with all of these ruin searches. This is a nice region. Let's, hold on. Let's click outside the window, shall we? There we go. So we have a couple of interesting anomalies over here. We're looking at 5 food in that tile, 1 food in that tile, and it's near the river. We could settle right on top of this. Obviously, I'd like to settle near the river. But yeah, we should probably take this. We can build the city close enough to Tierra that they'll be able to feed each other's garrisons with, in case of trouble. So somebody needs to make me a settler. Okay, Kasai. I was worried that this might be a settler running through our territory. Kasai is not a problem. 56, 90. I'm wondering if maybe the play is right here. And you know what? At this point, we're talking about enough travel that it's probably worth putting down an improved movement accessory. 2 points of improved movement. Put the settler at the top of the queue. Move everybody over to industry since we can't produce food anyway. And then we'll go back to focusing on growth once that's fixed. Alright, let's go have a chat with Red. So you can see, there is this market ban nullification term. It's quite expensive right after you get banned, and it will go down in cost over time, so eventually you can just shed a market ban whether they like it or not, for a pretty small cost. They can, of course, re-ban you, but re-banning you right after you've nullified the ban is quite expensive, and then that will go down in cost over time. There's like a push and pull that goes on with these guys. I would love it if you would... Oh man, we're 2 turns from an Empire plan. We're about to spend a whole bunch of influence, and also... they no longer have enough Palladian. Well then I guess it waits. I guess we can wait a second. But we're doing okay on influence. We might want to pursue some influence buildings in the near future. Alright, we'll check in with them periodically. I want to do this all as one deal, because each term you put on the table costs a certain amount of influence, no matter what the quantity of that term is. So doing 2 different deals for Palladian at 2 different times is actually just twice as expensive as doing a single deal for that same amount of combined Palladian. But we could get lucky with ruin searches here. Hey you, join the army. Hey you, there we go, okay. Alright, so we get a couple of ruins. We'll have to burn this place, unfortunately. Not ideal. So how much Palladian are they producing in a turn? Negative 12-ish. Just about. Somewhere in the neighborhood of negative 12. Alright, well. So we wait. At this point, I guess we're hoping to get lucky with the ruins. Oh, we gotta lay down a volcano former, too. I guess I don't actually exactly know where I want it yet. But it will almost certainly be made of titanium. Alright, we discovered dust and science, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess dust and science again. Okay, the game has shown me this is what you get for being a smart mouth. Hold on, we'll talk about this in a second. Actually, I guess we should talk about it now. So, we want to counter-offer them. By doing this as a counter-offer, they're paying for the initial terms. Oh man, but they're really spending their Palladian aggressively. It's almost like they know. Alright, I think we're just, refusing that for now. And we're going to go for plus 20% science on cities, and I think we're going to just leave it there. I don't want to go and grab the approval bonus, even though it's significant, because we need to keep influence available for this deal. We'll have a really good empire plan soon. Alright, where are we going to put this city? Like, right here's not terrible. Sorry, this is actually pretty terrible. What I was about to say is right here's not terrible because we're getting some bonuses from some tiles. But actually, this is a zero industry location, which makes it pretty bad. Up here we have some black earth, which is a lot of food. And there is river up here. What if we settled north of this stuff? Is there... There's a little bit of industry over here. The starting industry of the location is getting a little bit less important with time as we're more capable of just buying out the early buildings in our cities. So I guess we'll do it up here somewhere. Honestly, right on the river might be the good play, given the amount of food in that tile. Yeah, because we're missing 1 food from each of the river tiles, plus a ton of food from that. It's a little bit of food in the forest, a little bit more food here. And then the first expansion out will grab us a bunch more. I think this is the tile. Which means that's the tile where we want to put the volcano former. Pretty cheap. We haven't done a lot of this yet. Okay, so we do actually have to stand in the tile where we drop it in order to put it down. I realized I hadn't actually tested that. I assumed that it would work that way, since that's the way that putting down cities and stuff works, but good to have actual verification. So we'll put the volcano former down. We'll come down here and drop another one right after, and then we'll go wipe this out. I think that's the order of things. Alright, I forgot to move everybody back over to food. Hey, you guys. Focus on food again. You need to come out. Is that really the fastest route? Feels dangerous. Do this. Go this way. Feel a lot more comfortable with them heading down here instead of running past that. Okay, yeah, go and perform that. So where do I want to drop this other volcano farmer? Because we want this stuff to all be producing food right away. I think I'm just going to drop it here. There's a tile of overlap, but I'm pretty sure this is the right place to do it. Do we need... It would cost all of our glass steel? Yeah, we should just make the next one out of titanium again. Okay. And now let's go have words with these uncooperative fellows. Also, some suspect a curse from an angry god of love, as those wounded in battle can no longer heal themselves. Not really a big deal for us. A little bit of free XP. We probably... You know what? Let's just make absolutely sure nothing silly happens. Okay, he's starting right next to us. Yeah, there's no real playing around on this one. Just everybody get in there and murk this dude. Wow. 142 damage and the stun. Not bad. You can never tell what's going to happen when you auto-resolve. Sometimes things are really strange. Okay, and then we need to head back up in this direction. Hopefully these guys will give us a quest that's a little bit more doable. And in the rest of the Empire, things are going reasonably. We finished the market here. We definitely need to queue up right away. Get ourselves some proper roads and stuff. Probably makes sense to finish the alchemy workshop. And we're going to keep checking in with these guys, waiting for the opportunity when they have enough palladium. So they're getting at least 7 palladium a turn, right? Because last turn they had 1. We have a pretty decent mining operation going. Hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of it very soon. Unfortunately, I think the market ban removal term is pretty expensive in terms of influence, so we may not actually have enough influence left to go after this deal. Right? That's 47. Yes, we can try next turn, but we're probably looking at a deal that's going to cost us quite a bit. I love public granary. We're talking about 131 plus 1 more resource term from us. Yeah, something in this neighborhood, so 155. Yeah, okay, we're gonna be fine. It's just... and your turn right here. Okay. And as we're expanding, we're gaining approval bonuses and stuff. This is going alright. Keep an eye on the situation here. It looks like we're not... oh, never mind. I was going to say it looks like we aren't seeing a lot more territory changing hands, but in fact... ah, so light green is the Wild Walkers. That poses some threat to us. They're very aggressive, and they're about to have 2 full empires worth of land. But they don't actually know us yet, and we're kind of a... I was going to say we're kind of not really attached to them. I guess we will be once they take this. Well, here's hoping the rest of our faction quest can be resolved quickly, before they become an issue. A good reason to keep our military tech humming along, though. Let's go have us a little chat, shall we? Build the Coastal Battery in one of your cities in less than 5 turns. Unfortunately, the Coastal Battery is a city that a thing that has to be built in a city that has at least 1 district adjacent to the coast. Also, it's quite expensive, so we're going to have to fight those guys. Regardless of where and how Radat keeps the tally of the worth of empires, remember that ours is currently the greatest. Yep, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you thinking that you are the greatest empire. That actually probably is pretty good for us. Definitely want to level up our mining speed. So, we have become aware of a source of Palladian near Turol and a source of Adamantian in Madanav. Good thing we revealed all those tiles. As well as a single source of grass silk near Gadanak. Tell me you have... ah, man, they're killing me. Okay. I guess next time they have more than 10 Palladian, we just have to make an expensive deal. My concern is, without public granary to grease the wheels, we're going to have a hard time getting enough of it away from them. So let's go ahead and get our own smelting station tech up. Really hoping they would save us a little bit more time than this. Yep, we're all working on right-of-way, as we should be. They are constantly scouting us. That is a level 8 Harmonite 11. This is the 11th Harmonite design that they've had. There's only 63 turns in this game, but somehow they've redesigned that unit 10 times. This isn't going to break my volcano former, right? No, okay, cool. We're good. We're good. Alright, so this city's got some problems. Man, there's still a bug where sometimes you can't select a city right away after you place it. Definitely going to buy stuff out. You absolutely need to be on industry. Okay. We need to be on food for 1 turn until the seed storage is established. Then we'll have enough food, right? Because the volcano former's not finished yet, so we're not getting any from the terrain. And then sewer system, and then public granary. We'll be able to buy out most of the sewer system. Alright, well... and this has to be done, then. We're not quite getting the garrison of Hendwin. That's a shame. We're also not quite getting the garrison of Turol. If I move over and attack this from a different angle, nope, that, in fact, does not help at all. Alright, well, we're just going to have to take some actual damage here. It's fine. We won't heal it right away, but we'll be fine. So we can put... these guys have 3 speed. We can put some people over here. I think we can actually get everybody into attack range. Yeah, okay. So, how do we want to do this? You can run up there, you can get him, you can get him. You guys fight from volcanic tiles as much as possible. Alright. So 3 people focused on this one, 3 people focused on this one, and then 1 guy to steal that guy's turn. Alright, good solid stun there. By the way, I didn't... I should have planned this. I didn't. But this thing where the guys who are going earlier are attacking the... are moving to the spaces from which they only have 1 possible target is absolutely the correct way to do this attack. It was an accident here, but it shouldn't have been. Alright, since this guy's stunned, I'm a lot less worried about him. Let's see if we can drop a stun on this other dude, too. Alright, cool. Stun would wear off at the end of this turn, but obviously he'll be dead before then. So we got a couple of lucky rolls there with our hero. Alright, and this region is now under control. It's funny, I don't feel enlightened. So, what do we want to do now? We've carved ourselves out a reasonable space. I'm a little worried about Gadanak. I guess the thing that would be valuable for us to do now is to try to go and take as many of the pearls that we can see in our territory as possible. Although it looks like Red is going to successfully snatch all of the ones that are left on land. Well, not a lot we can do about that, unfortunately. We don't really need pearls right now, so I guess it's not a big deal. Alright, and now that we actually have some food income, we probably need to focus on industry here because we're going to have a lot of food. We are not going to have a lot of industry. Things are going to look a lot better for this city once that volcano former finishes. Oh, hey, somebody built a Guardian. Turn 64. Yep, and we get the quest to unlock the Guardian killing unit, in case that's a thing that we think we need. Oh, interesting. He did not take the pearl. I thought that was the whole reason that unit was over here. Well, let's go get that pearl then. And I guess peek back in on these dudes. At 6 Palladian now. We're going to have to mostly use our own Palladian, just augment it a little bit with his. It'll be good for us to unlock the marketplace anyway, though, now that we have a reasonable amount of dust income. Because we are actually going to want to get some heroes, get some governors. Oh yeah, speaking of a reasonable amount of dust income, it's about to be time to search all the ruins again for even more dust. Dyes have run out. Next turn, this is going to run out, and then we're going to drop below happy approval, which is unfortunate. We've actually got approval buildings up in most of our cities, so it is not going to get much better. We definitely want to rebuild that Boss village. We also want to put up our Golem camp, probably over here. Yeah, that's 10 extra approval and also that that wonder. Should I drop it right here instead? I'm just thinking like it's easy enough for the city to expand in this direction. Should probably drop it directly on here and get the tiles that are further from the city. Not actually any different. Yeah, okay. Golem camp there. Yeah, you have a thing that you need to keep working on. Next turn, we're gonna see population growth take off in that city. And here, you know what? Give me a Golem Rider. We can get a Golem Rider going pretty fast, right? Especially since we now have access to the tier 3 stuff here. That's a 395 design. How many turns will it take you to build that? 4? This is just to help us clean up ruins and stuff. Alright, so the Broken Lords are, for the moment, holding. Hopefully they will continue to do that. We just need the situation to remain relatively stable for a little while longer while we accomplish our internal goals. Alright, we checked in with you. Yeah, it was this turn. Okay. Because I would still make that deal. Anytime we can take off of our faction quest, the better. Anytime? The more time we can take off of our faction quest, the better. Alright, so this is a ruin. What's the furthest south ruin? That's the one we really need to get to. Well, I think we won't be able to search this one because the quest will block it. But yeah, get as far south as you can. And here's hoping for a good conflux. Alright, so with these volcano formers finishing, Endwin is now at plus 29 food per turn. So yeah, population's going to grow much, much quicker. Also, apparently, there was a pearl right here that we had not seen. 10 mithrite, wow. So the stuff that's in the ruins is not actually... It doesn't improve over time, it improves... I'm allowed to cross this. Oh, that's a cliff. It improves with the scientific advancement of the most advanced player, I believe. So stuff gets better faster on higher difficulties, basically, as the AI just really like tears through the research. I am so upset that we are continually getting strategic resources of the right era and just rolling the wrong one over and over again. If we could have gotten any free Palladian at any point here... 6 again, really? Alright, well. Is that actually right? Did you... No, 12. Okay, it's not updating in real time. Do we want to just take 12? Obviously, not all of the adamantium. Okay, the deal's positive without the adamantium. We could get a little bit more from him. A little something else. We get a tech from him. No, it looks like even the most basic techs he's not willing to trade. Not for this, anyway. Aquapulvistics would actually be really nice for us to have. That makes the deal cost 248, and then we just give him something to make up the difference. It turns out maybe actually we can't do that. Well, can I give him something that's less powerful then, and still make it across? I think I would rather he have Granary than the workshop. Yeah, I guess we're just giving him a pretty positive deal here. I don't really want any of these resources that we're not going to be able to get enough of to provide a booster, right? Because what would be the point? He has a huge amount of Hyperium already. Yeah, alright, I guess we're making this deal. I'm afraid that if we let him bank up too much more Palladium, he's just going to spend it again. Alright, so we've got market access. And the fact that that deal was to his favor is not, that's not purely wasteful. He will remember that we made him a deal that is positive for him, and that'll give us a positive diplomatic modifier. It's like we don't actually have any movement confluxes anywhere near our territory. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, that aside, I mean, everybody just keep going. So we can make him a deal for some more Palladian in the next 2 turns or so, probably. Okay, let's actually grab this one before we head south again, so we can do this across the border. Also, it doesn't hurt to parade our military around and let the other players see that we actually have stuff. Wow, this is not a small amount of dust. My armies will cook their meats from the nearby heat of your volcano-forming fires. Splendid. Okay, he's happy that we're volcano-forming. Cool, I guess. So, while we're temporarily not banned from the market, we're looking at heroes in the neighborhood of 600 dust each. That is a very acquirable amount of dust. And somebody has raised a hero to level 8 and acquired the intelligence core. That's pretty good. What is Makani? Connie is level 7 probably in like 2 turns. 1 or 2 turns. So we were pretty behind on that one. Alright, everybody's developing. We don't want to rush anything. Once you finish your right-of-way, it's definitely time for more burrows. So that'll level up our altar as well. Yeah, everything is going okay. So this turn we want to check in with him again and see if he has at least 8 Palladian. We're definitely willing to make some some weird trades to make that happen. Oh, we can't trade for Palladian. I forgot. We won't have a term that opens up that kind of trade. So actually, we might be stuck getting it on our own. We're not talking about too many turns there. We'd have to be at peace with him, at least, to be able to just openly trade resources. So honestly, it might be worth coming back here. He probably likes us a bit right now. We might be able to take advantage of that. And then lower expansion disapproval. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're going to be fine. Definitely time to pick up plus morale on units, so our army is actually, I think, pretty capable right now. We're a little bit out-teched by the enemy. We can make some moves on that front. Got some Quicksilver, not enough to actually do anything with, unfortunately. There is another ruin down here, which I guess we'll go after. Yeah. Actually, there's a ruin right over there. That's not a, I guess that one's not time sensitive. That's not a temple ruin. That's just a normal ruin that we haven't searched. Okay, so we're close to having this guy available just to, like, patrol and keep an eye on stuff. It's nice to have a neighbor who actually wants to be your friend. I think we're getting a little bit lucky here, by the way. The fact that we're so deep into this game and we haven't been attacked by a greatly superior force or anything has a lot to do with exactly who our neighbors are and exactly how busy they were with their neighbors. We've been allowed to live a quiet, largely undisturbed life, which is not something we should expect to be the case every game. Somebody's moved up into Era 5 already. Scientific progress going pretty well for someone. Hopefully the search of this temple will get us enough dust to hire a hero. And just to make sure I'm actually right, there's nothing we could offer him. Yeah. Closing our borders or threatening him is not going to put resource terms on the table. We need to be proposing an alliance or a peace treaty, or an open borders treaty, or a market ban removal treaty. Which is weirdly not one of the criteria here. Or we need to be in peace. It's a good idea to deal with our neighbors. On difficulties where you can't be strong enough to just kill everybody, it's important to be able to deal with your neighbors. I actually really like the balance of the diplomacy in this game. I think that the whole influence system is a really clever design for dealing with some of the problems that 4X games frequently have. Alright, units can heal again. That's cool. And we discovered 130 dust, which does indeed put us in a place where we can purchase heroes. There's 3 turns left on the Dust Eclipse, so we're going to be able to hit that thing. I think we have open borders with red, right? So we're going to be able to hit that and that. So we're not even done making money here. And can this Golem Rider get around to here in a single move? He sure can. I guess he should grab this. And then make it over here. We can get ourselves another thingy. And then we can hire an actual governor for the capital. I think John Port's been doing a fine job dredging... Adamantian again, huh? He's been doing a fine job dredging dust out of that river. Let's have a look at who's available right now. We have Bella the Bat with Dust Efficiency 1. Bishop Julian with Dust Boost 1. Exid the Chosen, I believe, is a pretty good one. He has Industry Efficiency. And Cultists make good governors. They have this skill, which is great. It's just the higher your population is, the better this skill gets. And then into Massive Science Boost, and Massive Influence Boost, and Massive Dust Boost. And the Influence Boost skill leads naturally right into Inspirational Leader and Cold Operator. I really like Exit the Chosen as a governor for any city that's reasonably well developed. Industry Efficiency is very powerful as well. Here we have Ipsawacha. Of course, we know Ipsawacha's great. Poly Inoa. with influence efficiency 2. That's very interesting. Extra influence produced for each citizen devoted to influence. And then, I mean, like, volcanology is actually pretty great for us. +2 approval for every tile that you have, for every city tile that is actually on volcanic terrain is great. Plus quite a lot of science. We haven't really looked at these guys as governors yet. Plus 50% attack on units during the dust eclipse. The thing is, I like the cavalry tree so much for commanders. I hadn't really even been considering this. Yeah, that's certainly interesting. So level 2 of this gives us 2 science, 1 industry, and 1 dust per exploited tile, followed by a ton of approval, and then a big science boost. I do like that. Tamak Rayan is all army stuff, and Wadeha Hakan is also pretty army focused. Science boost 1 is fine, and the Ardent Mages do have a science heavy tree. In particular, I like a lot the fact that there is just a big flat science boost at the bottom, so an early Ardent Mage hero really makes a lot of difference in your early research. I think we're going to take the Exit the Chosen, though. Industry efficiency is a little non-ideal, because we really do want that city to be focused on food most of the time. Industry boost would be a lot better for us. Let's throw you in here, unfortunately, at level 1, but at least stuff's going to get built quickly. And then we have access to a couple of improvement things, you know, extra science when you're focusing on science, extra dust when you're focusing on dust, extra fortification for your cities, and then somewhere in here there's also... Oh, never mind. I thought there was... I might be remembering a trinket that comes from a different armor tech. So, pretty good for focusing a city on science or dust, but not anything that we actually want to equip right this second. Yeah, so finish this stuff. He just really needs to get some XP. Alright, here we definitely want to start actually leveling up our districts. So next turn we're going to have Palladian mining. We're going to have access to enough Palladian to finish this building pretty soon. Or rather, to start this building, I guess. Alright, how much... Do you have any move left? No, I took all your move. Okay. Let's keep going. I do not imagine that we will get enough dust to hire another hero soon. Probably not. And there's some chance if we don't get some good peace going with Red, he'll ban us from the market again before too much longer. It's a concern I have. Here, let's just make absolutely sure that I'm right about the fact that we can't access this because the quest interaction will block it. Also, that's a movement conflux right there. What was I talking about earlier? Yeah, we would have to clear the quest from this before we could interact with it normally. Alright, so we'll just grab these two and then be done with it. That's fine. That's a fine amount of extra money. Is there anything else? So we could try to, like, run in here and grab this. It might make green kind of angry with us. Hold on, let's see something here. What if we negotiated peace with green instead? Ooh, they do not love that. They do have the Palladian, but... like, what could I possibly give them that would make this work? They would actually love it if we gave them the ability to make peace with people. So what if I do this? That's a very expensive deal. Yeah, we're just probably not going to be able to make this work. But if we were able to become friends with them... Man, this would be really good. This would be very, very useful. Alright, none of our resources make enough of a dent in this. If I offered to declare war on blue, they'd be down. I mean, we know blue's not exactly a powerhouse. They probably have their own problems. Like, what if we did just declare war? No, we should not do that. That is inviting destruction. Probably. I'm just thinking, if we could get peace from green, and then red literally can't declare war on us, that would do a lot towards solidifying our position to follow up on our faction quest without being disrupted too much. We don't know exactly where the faction quest goes. It may require us to declare war. 202. So we're actually only looking at 2 more turns of influence. We can make it 1 by swapping some people to influence growth. We need to get to 106. Or sorry, 106. We need to get. No wait, 16. Yeah, we're already at 202 next turn. Yeah, maybe this is the way we want to do that. We'll just get peace with them. We'll mine out the Palladian ourselves. It'll be 8 turns, but it'll be worth it. Yeah, okay, I think that's the idea. So, I'm going to wait until we're at peace with them before I do this, just so that they don't view it as, like, trespassing. We can do that next turn. I guess you may as well move 1 tile over. You can be ready to get in there with maximum alacrity. And then we can pursue peace with red later, because red already likes us. We've got relatively important stuff finishing all over the place. That golem camp's real good. Oh, we should volcano form that area, though. Red has got to 50 of each strategic resource. Wow, that's... They're really going to produce a lot of dust. Okay. I could rush some Palladian out of them if I waited 1 more turn and devoted a bunch of people to influence, but first of all, I don't think that's a good use of that influence. And secondly, we're fine on Palladian. It's going to be okay. Okay, it's good to have friends. Sorry, all of a sudden, I've got a frog in my throat. Which is kind of a weird phrase. Alright, cool. 150 dust, and they won't totally murder me for being here. I mean, we could just go over here and explore a little bit, right? Oh, no. I picked the wrong direction. I guess we wouldn't have had the movement to get to that anyway. Okay, over here we will grab these 2 and then bounce. I'm going to grab this one and then hit that on the way out, because I want to be away from their city quickly. Okay, I'm just making sure we don't start an international incident here. So we discovered the Tome of Endless Savagery. Can be equipped by heroes to give them bonus damage versus guardians. And 130 more dust. Cool. So, now that we have peace, let's talk about diplomatic relationships. Now that we have peace, we can connect our trade routes. So all of our cities can run trade routes to all of their cities, but we have to have contiguous road patterns. Fortunately, Tural has right-of-way, and it looks like this city does too. You can see the roads are darker when they're proper roads, and they just look like sort of carvings in the ground when they're not. Sorry, that's a river, not the road, but you can see how light this road is compared to these. So that could be very good for us. And it'll only get better as we connect more of our cities to our trade network. Okay, over here, Central Market probably, and then back to Science Focus. We don't really need to prioritize the titanium. The reconstruction of that boss village is kind of important. I don't want to spend... Oh, we can also refocus these people. We actually have food income now. I don't think we should consider buying this stuff out. I think we should try to save money for another hero, if we can maybe swing that. And in 7 turns, we'll be able to start building the Coney School of Elite Riders. This play doesn't accelerate our quest as much as trading with these guys does, but it does make us a lot safer. It is probably worthwhile. Also, Metanav. We should probably queue this up for the next build. It's not terribly important. In fact, we should move people over to industry. It's not terribly important, but we do have some stuff to get done here. Suppose we could be getting that as well. So, I think we're in a pretty good place in all of our cities then. We don't really need to keep focusing industry for now. I think it's fine to go back to food. Let's just keep growing. Here, I think it is probably the same deal, that it's not really that important to focus on industry. Well, so building this district is going to be approval positive. Maybe we do want to stay industry focused for a minute. Well, so like there's value in finishing the borough streets now, getting some approval back up, and pushing ourselves back into content, because we will lose 10 approval for the city tile, but we'll gain 15 approval for this borough street leveling up, and that will be just enough to put us back up to 40%, which is content. So this particular district is actually quite important. That said, also in 4 turns we're going to get another approval boost, so maybe it's probably better to just focus on food. And then, obviously, the more we focus on food, the earlier we can produce more districts and get more levels and get more approval stability from there. And I just realized what time it is. So I think this is probably actually a good place to stop. Our plan is kind of in place. The situation around us is a little chaotic, but we've insulated ourselves from it quite effectively. One of the big values, I should say, of building a city like this really close to your existing border is that you don't make yourself as vulnerable to your neighbors, and in a situation like this where it's like a really early city, we don't even necessarily have to meet the neighbors. If we built Gedenak like over here, it's much more likely that we would know light green and that they would already be saber rattling at us and stuff. So keeping your city grouping kind of compact within your borders, within the borders of your regions, can actually have some diplomatic benefits if you're trying to basically hide from the other players. Anyway, that is going to be it for us for today. Hey, that's supposed to make the thing come up. I'm going to press the button again. Okay, I'll just click it. I'll click it myself. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for, hopefully, us making some actual progress on this faction quest. We're so close. And we'll see you then.